Hello everyone! So today I'm going to be painting some watercolors. So you will need some brushes, you will need some watercolor paper and some watercolors. The colors I used were light green, sap green, deep green, phthalocyanine green, cerulean blue, lemon yellow, scarlet, rose violet, mauve, burnt sienna, and raw umber. You will also need a palette just to mix and match the colors that you want on your painting. You will also need some masking tape as well for the edges. So the photograph that I'll be painting today is a landscape from West Cameroon. It's a very special picture to me because I took this picture 2 years ago at my grandmother's funeral. In this picture you can clearly see the beautiful variety in vegetation in Cameroon, which is often not very portrayed in the mainstream media. It goes to show how beautiful African countries are and how rich our soil is. So let's get to the painting now, shall we? So as you can see here, I had already off camera, put some light blue and some light green as a background, just as a base, so that from there I can build up the colors, build up the texture, and build up the light and the shadows. So as you can see, I already started playing with some greens, with deep greens, light greens, and some yellows, just to create a shadow and some light thanks to the sun coming through the leaves and the trees. So as you can see right now, I'm adding some light green on the bush on the foreground so that just as a base, and then as I go I will add some deep green and also some burnt sienna just to give it some dimension and some shadows and some texture as well. So I'm working my way there, and you know on the top, just to imitate the light, I like to put some yellows or to put like really light greens just to make it more just to make it seem like the light is really coming through and hitting some spots in the picture. So as you can see here, I did a little fast forward just to show you like the end result of the bush in the foreground. So here I'm playing with some deep greens and some sap greens just to create some dimension in the bushes in the background. And later you will see me add some browns, some umber, just to add some shadows, just like here. So this is the shadow that was created by the forest in the background. So it's pretty dark, it's not black, but it's like raw umber. So as you can see here, to imitate the texture of the trees and also of the leaves in the trees and the bushes, what I like to do is to take my brush and create like little stems type of things, where I take some sap greens or any green that I like, and I just make little stems where it kind of creates a texture to it. And the more I go up with the tree, the lighter I go, so that it imitates the sunlight hitting that spot in the tree. And right here I'm adding some shadows thanks to a deep green. So the deep green helps me create kind of a dimension, a 3D effect. And as I go up, I add some yellows that will create that sunlight effect, just like you can see here. What I really like about watercolors is that you can always saturate or kind of smudge out some colors. You can even do it with your fingers like I just did. So it's very forgiving. You can add more colors so to make it more saturated, or you can add a little bit of water so that you can smudge out some pigmentation that was too heavy in some spots. So it's very forgiving and it's very easy to use as well for anyone that's just beginning with painting. What I really like about watercolors as well is that you can create a very soft effect. For example, when you paint flowers, this is excellent to paint flowers if you'd like a little delicate and soft effect. And also it's really fun to build up with colors and to play with, you know, shades and light. So I really like watercolors for that reason. So as you can see here, I added some yellows on top of the bushes just to create more light as I go. What you will notice here in this painting is that I like to start somewhere and then start elsewhere to let it dry so that I can build up the color when I come back to that spot. Because sometimes when you're building up with colors with darker tones or lighter tones, if it mixes up with what was already on the canvas, you will have a hard time getting the shade effect, and it would just like smudge like a one tone color, and it won't look as deep as possible. So to create depth, I like to let one space dry off and then I will come back and work on it later. So right now I'm adding greens in the sky because there were a lot of trees there. There were some spaces that were blue because the sky was coming through. But right now I'm gonna add some sap green again and some deep green as well. I'm gonna be mixing it up. So the first color I add is some sap green. This time around I'm not gonna make it light, so I'm not gonna put too much water on my brush so that it creates really a little stamps of colors. That's what I was talking about. So little stamps of color that will you know, create a tree effect with different leaves. So I'm smudging it out like so, and as I go I will add different colors and different shades of green just to create a very full of depth tree. So just so you know, the video was filmed in the course of 2 days, so not 2 full days, but I took a few hours a day just to work on the painting. So unfortunately I couldn't film the whole thing because my camera storage on my phone was already pretty full. So yeah, I have too many pictures, too many apps, too many things on my phone, and I have to get rid of it. So here is a fast forward to the final touches. So as you can see, the palm trees are defined, the trees, some of the bushes are defined, and the flowers are added. So the very simple way to add flowers on a watercolor is just to dip the thinnest brush, or the tiniest brush you can find, in scarlet or mauve or rose violet, and to make little dots where you want to add flowers. And from afar, when you look at it, it really looks like little tiny flowers coming out and popping out in very vivid colors. It's very simple. So now, the moment that you've been waiting for, the final result. Drum roll, please. So this is the final result of the painting. So I took a picture of the painting with my phone, and here it is. So it's not exactly the same colors. It's a little bit lighter here, like more in the light green tones, but you know what? I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty satisfied with the painting. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, to comment, to subscribe, and to share the video with a friend, and I'll see you in the next video.